Cool.
Good evening, everybody. This is the April 24th meeting of Public Safety and Governance Committee. Quick roll call. In attendance, we have Councilwoman Nicole Eady, Councilmember Josh Goldstein, Councilmember Doug Sutton, and myself. And we're happy to be with Mr. Tom Livingston today here. So we can move on and get started. So we start with the acceptance of the minutes. Take a motion to accept the minutes from the regular meeting of on February 27th, 2025. Ms. Edie, thank you. Any comments, corrections that need to be made? Hearing none. All in favor of accepting the minutes, as they are, say aye. Aye. Any
I'm gonna abstain.
and one abstention. So that passes. Mr. Goldstein, thank you. And so we go to public participation.
It does not look like anyone from the public is on the list.
Okay. So we'll go to new business and we go to item A, authorize the Norwalk Police Department to utilize a non-competitive procurement justification form with Motorola Solutions for the purchase of investigation equipment with a 2-year support subscription. Funding is provided by the BJA fiscal year 24 Edward Bine Memorial Justice Assistant Grant, JAG Award, account number noted. So I turn it over to Deputy Chief Lepore. Oh, I'll take a motion for that item. Mr. Goldstein, thank you. Deputy Chief Lepore, I'll hand it over to you.
Good evening, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, I couldn't see you. I wasn't. Oh, here we go. Promoted. I got promoted.
Deputy Chief Lepore. There you go.
Okay, there I am.
Sorry about that.
Good evening, members. Yes, so the Norwalk Police Department is requesting purchase of investigative equipment from Motorola Solutions. And this would be equipment that we use. It will interface with other agencies that have it. And it's for covert operations. And we already have the procurement for under the grant, so we have the funding available for it.
Does funding available mean that you have the funding, or does the funding available mean that when it gets approved, like it happens?
So we've been awarded the grant in the amount of $18,000 and change to use for equipment and personnel hours. So once we want to purchase the equipment, we have to put it back through and get it approved. This is actually to get to City Hall to get our purchase order to actually purchase the equipment. And then we'll get reimbursed, I should say, with the grant.
Okay.
Okay, so the grant was approved and accepted by the Common Council on the January 14th meeting. And that should be attached also in your packet. Okay.
Any other questions or comments? Hearing none. All in favor of passing this item? And that passes unanimously. So move over to item B, authorize the mayor, Harry W. Riley, to execute a second amendment to the memorandum of agreement, MOA, by and between the Recovery Network, or is that supposed to be Recovery Network, a program Inc., and the city of Norwalk, commencing on October 19th, 2024, and then on June 30th, 2025, and the amount of $209,000, 958, to be paid from account number noted. Pass it over to you, Deputy.
Yes, so we currently have an MOA with the Recovery Network program, and this funds our behavior health network. So that funds our social workers that are assigned to the police department, and they go out on cases and everything. What happened was back in, and this MOA we have does not have a termination date. But because a year ago, actually in 2022, actually 2 years ago, it was increased. We used to have one full-time and one part-time social worker. In 2022, 23, it got extended. It increased from to 2 social workers full-time. So when we went to put the purchase order through to pay it, they wanted a new updated addendum or amendment to the that which expired in October, saying that we're still continuing to use the 2 full-time social workers. So this is what we need to do to get them paid. And yes, we do have the funding. It's already in the account and it's in our budget for the year.
Any questions or comments, Mr. Goldstein?
All I have to say is, as far as I know, and I'd be curious for an update here, this program seems to have been a phenomenal success.
Yes, and
I mean-
actually
I
I
mean,
can
this-
elaborate on it.
Yeah, I think it would actually be really nice to do that, and I have I'll hold my thoughts, but this has been a phenomenally successful program. So please, if you could sort of talk about how this, is shaken out, I think it'd be really appreciated.
Okay, so actually, even on the agenda, I have you guys wanted me to elaborate a little bit on the community policing and our community networking. So I do have some of that information if you want to do that afterwards. But you will see for this program, for the embedding of the 2 social workers, I mean, every month they're going out on about 55, 60 cases, and they are just helping people with any of the services that Norwalk or the state offers. And these are some of the people that they call the police because they're not really sure where to turn and what kind of help they need. And these social workers, if it's not police related, it's really not a crime or anything. They need a direction, or the family needs a direction to point them in. And they go out of their way, and they'll come out in the field if somebody needs us out in the field with them. Once a situation is stable, they'll come out in the field and they'll respond to calls, or they do follow-ups. Sometimes they will open cases that are referred to from other officers, or there's somebody that will call and say, hey, I have this person, or a family member would call and say, hey, I have a family member and I don't know which way to go. And they will absorb the case and they will open it and they will get everybody the help and the placement that they need, as opposed to any type of it's not really a criminal matter. So, and it keeps them out of the system too, because sometimes, people slip up and things happen. And it helps a lot of people and gets them in the right direction.
Any other questions or comments?
I'd be
Oh, there you go.
No, all I was gonna say was, I mean, this program was put in place, I think, what, 2-3 years ago?
Yes.
And
So this
so-
amendment, and I'll elaborate a little bit more on it, is because so next month I will have another one of these to go through, probably for May or actually maybe in June, because we'd like to start getting paid out on a fiscal year. So I'm going to be working with Corporation Counsel. So our next amendment should be like the final one, so we can just get it on a reoccurring pay, and so I don't have to be presenting it to you, which is what we were doing before. But once we did the increase, we have to make sure that increase stays total. So unless we get a third person, or we increase our the embedded social workers, the staffing, then you guys won't have to see this again every year on a yearly basis. But next month, I want to get it on our fiscal year, so it'll be effective from July 1st till June 30th.
Thank you.
Yeah, before we I just want to say thank you for giving us some more insight about this. This is definitely a wonderful program. We had some friends from the state put on a presentation with Representative Roberts a few months ago, and they were just so excited about this program. I know I had this program, and it's really leading in the state. So really just want to thank you for that.
Yes, and Recovery Network has some great social workers. I know they are also they work in Stanford also with the Stanford Police Department, so we use the same company as they do. And so across the state, I'm not sure how many other PDs that They actually give us their social workers and they do all the screening, they do everything without all that, and they do all the hiring, and they are really good. I have nothing but great things to say about them.
Thank you. So if there's no other comments, take a vote. All in favor of passing it? And that passes unanimously. Thank you, Deputy Chief Report. We'll talk to you in a
Thank
second.
Yes.
So then we have item C, which is approve the recommended vape shop fees. Read the vape shop ordinance. The application fee is $250. The renewal fee is $250, and the duplicate license fee is $30. And this is important just to put the fees in place. But to talk about it a little bit more, we're going to turn it over to the Chief of Staff, Tom Livingston.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you, members of the committee. As the chair just said, this is simply a matter of having the council acting first through this committee approve the fees established by the city clerk for the license and license renewal and replacement fee for a vape license. As you may recall, the license will be administered through the city clerk's office. The ordinance goes into effect August 1st, and the idea is, our goal is to have this ordinance all up and running no later than the middle of next month, but we're well on our way to having the license process set up. And just by point of reference, how we came up with this number. So we took a look at if any of our neighboring communities had such a thing. Unfortunately, they don't. The closest was Bridgeport, which has a tobacco retailer license, which is $150. Stanford, none of Stanford, Danbury, or New Haven had a vape fees. So then we looked at our other fees, and right now the city clerk has a $200 fee for a food truck application, and a $200 fee for a food truck renewal. Different. This is going to work. So I'm open to any questions. Be straightforward.
Any questions?
I missed the last sentence or two. I don't know if people had the same thing that I just had.
Was it?
But this seems very straightforward. I have no issues with the fees. And
that was it. Any other questions? So yeah, I think if there's no other questions, I just made a comment. I think this is a very important ordinance. I mean, we see it every week or sometimes multiple weeks. The Norwalk Police Department is taking down another vape shop that has these dangerous products in it. So this is a step to really help make our community safer and do what we can. So if there's no other comments, all in favor of passing this? And that's unanimous. So
All right,
thanks again, Ms. Livingston.
Thank you all very much, and have a good night.
You
thanks,
too.
Tom.
So right now, we're moving to the discussion. We didn't have much items on this agenda, but I think it's really important to talk about like the work that the police department is doing, especially with the community service division. Community policing is such an important part with building the trust in the community, and I think the Norwalk PD is really doing a great job. So I just wanted to take this time to really get an update and also answer any questions that we might have.
Okay, thank you. I have all my community affairs. I have everything ready to go to present for you guys. I have one other item that goes with the JAG grant that I have to present. I'm gonna send you guys it. I know it was not on the agenda and I don't want to go off the agenda. I just want to give you guys a heads up that it's got to come because the grant that when we received it by the Department of Justice was missing a certification and assurances form. So what I'd like to do maybe during the week or something is submit it to you guys. It's got to go with our grant for the mayor's signature. The grant that was already signed by the mayor and went through Corporation Council had a page that was missing. So when I said we were getting ready to submit all this stuff, they said, oh, well, we never gave you this. So there's another form. So, and of course I got it today And I said, I can't get it on the agenda, but I will forward it to you and Michelle and the commission to see if you can get it. Maybe we can get it all on the same common council meeting. So it would all go together because it would make sense. Okay,
That makes
but
sense.
I will forward that to you for your review.
Okay. Is
Mark.
there
Thank
anything
you.
special about this form?
No, no. So basically it just says what the mayor signed off on for the acceptance of the grant already. That's already been approved. And it's the assurance is saying that he is the chief executive officer of the applicant of the government and that we were awarded the grant and it was approved, but now that one needs to be signed. And our corporation council said, you know what, let's put it through here again and have you guys okay it, even though the mayor okayed it, and then he will forward it to the mayor. Okay, so you guys will see that.
Okay.
Okay, so I just had to make sure I went through that because I started getting nervous about it not having.
No, it sounds pretty straightforward.
Yes,
Definitely.
yes.
Julian, do you
Um,
want to introduce it as new business?
Yeah, let's do
Are we
that.
able
just
to
so
do
that we
that?
could.
And then,
We're just basically, it would just be amending the agenda.
Yep.
Okay,
So
So if we want
Um,
to take a motion to amend the agenda so that we could add this item. Miss Edie?
do you, I'm sorry, Deputy Chief Laporte, do you have the actual form?
I do have the form.
I think it would be nice if we could at least look at the form before
Okay.
we approve
Before
it.
we do, okay.
Absolutely.
If you wouldn't mind just
Absolutely.
sharing your screen or something, I think that would be,
Okay, let me see if I can do that.
and Jalen, this is your meeting. I don't mean to overstep, but
No problem. Yeah, it's
Yes.
important.
So I've never done that before. Share, let's see, share screen. Can you guys see that?
no.
No.
not yet.
So I have it, it's up on my screen.
Operate on higher ground to.
And if you go to
Um,
Zoom,
14
like Zoom and share screen.
14 North Taylor
Yep, I
Ave.
did that. That's what I did for my Zoom. Let's see. I did it on the bottom. It said share. Oh, wait a minute, share.
There you go.
Ha!
There we
Dang it.
go.
You
Okay.
taught me something. Yay. Okay. So this is it.
So I think we had the motion. I think Miss Edie made it. And then all in favor, just so for the record we could do it.
Yes.
And then that passes unanimously. And then now you can present it to us, Deputy.
Okay. So this is, let me put this together right here. So the Department of Justice, Edward Byrne Memorial Grant. It was the purchase with non-competitive procurement agreement and justification form. So this grant was awarded in January 2025. And it indicates that the Norwalk Police Department may utilize the grant funds to pay overtime for increased patrols, improve safety and security, and reduce crime at multiple locations throughout the city. JAG funds may also be used to purchase equipment necessary to assist policing in protecting the public, conducting investigations, and improving citizens' compliance with the laws. So the mayor has already signed off on the grant, and it's already been accepted and approved. And the second part of this is the assurance from the CEO or chief executive of the applicant government, meaning the Norwalk Police Department. And on behalf of the applicant unit of the local government named below, in support of that locality's application for an award under the 2024 Edward Byrne Memorial Justice Grant Program to further for 34 US Code 10153A, certify the Office of Justice Program and the US Department of Justice that all the following are true and correct. So this would be on behalf of the mayor, that he's the chief executive of the applicant unit of the local government named below. And I have the authority to make the following representation on my own behalf as chief executive and on behalf of the applicant unit of local government. I understand that these representations will be relied upon as material in any OJP decision to make an award under the application described above to the applicant union unit of local government. I certify that no federal funds made available by the award, if any, that OJP makes based on the application described above will be used to supplant local funds, but will be used to increase the amount of such funds that would, in the absence of federal funds, be made available for law enforcement activities. I assure the application described above and any amendment to that application was submitted for review to the governing body of the unit of local government, i.e. city council or committee commission, county commission, to an organization designed by that governing body not less than 30 days before the date of this certification. I assure that before the date of this certification, A, the application described above and any amendment to that application was made public, and B, an opportunity to comment on that application or amendment was provided to citizens and to the neighborhood or community-based organizations to the extent applicable law or established procedure made such any opportunity available. I assure that each fiscal year of the award, if any, that OGP makes based on the application described above, the applicant unit of local government will maintain and report such data, records, and information, programmatic and financial, as OJP may reasonably require. I have carefully reviewed 34 USC 10153A5, and with respect to the programs to be funded by the award, if any, I hereby make the certification required by section 10153A5 as to each of the items specified therein. If the applicant named below is not the unit of the local government itself, I certify this as instrumentally of the unit of local government and is approved to serve as the applicant and recipient of the fiscal year 2024 JAG funding on behalf of the unit of local government.
Thank you for that.
Good news, I assume, just from reading this, and I appreciate your reading in this, this seems like, if not pretty identical to the ones we've signed in the past when we've been awarded
Yes.
this grant in the past.
Yes,
That's
so
all, that was my one question. And I
yes,
think
it
that
is
this
identical. And
Yeah.
every grant that we get, every JAG grant that's awarded, it's usually every year or two. Depends on how often they put them out. But yes, it is identical.
Okay,
Yeah.
I have no issues with this.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, this seems pretty straightforward.
Do you have the action language? Or, I mean, I don't want us to make it up, but just so that we know what we're passing here, and if Corp Council needs to like rewrite the language. But it's basically, you're authorizing the mayor to sign this form.
So it would be authorization for Mayor Harry Rilling to sign a U.S. Department of Justice, Office of Justice Programs, the Edward Byrne Memorial Justice Grant, fiscal year 2024 local solicitation. It's the certifications and assurances form by the executive of the applicant government.
Great.
All right. So yeah, any other questions or concerns with this? Hearing none, I guess we have to take a motion to approve this as stated. I can't see everyone.
Doug raised his hand.
Oh, okay, Mr. Sutton. And then all in favor? And that passes unanimously. Thanks a lot.
Thank
Thank
you.
you
Thanks-
so much. Thank
Thanks
you.
for that suggestion.
Okay, thank you. I didn't realize, again, I'm still a little new to this. I wasn't sure that I
Mhm.
can ask for a modification or for the agenda. Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. Does that work? Do we go back? We go back.
Yep.
Okay, so on to community affairs. Okay, so our community police unit division, this past month on their monthly report that I'm going to go over with you guys, because I think it has a lot of information on here that I think you guys are curious to see. They took 1,041 calls for service. That's just our community police division. So in our community police division, we have 3 traffic unit officers, and then we have 3 patrol officers. And then we have 2 sergeants, and we have a lieutenant who's in charge of it. And we also have our behavior health unit that falls under there, which also has another officer assigned to it. Okay, so some of our major events that we went to and we handled in March were the Stanford St. Patrick's Day Parade. They also did Read Across America, where they go to the schools, and a lot of officers volunteer their time, and they go and they read in certain classrooms, all the schools that request us. They did a children's and family safety presentation at Ben Franklin School. They handled the Norwalk St. Patrick's Day Parade, also the Bridgeport St. Patrick's Day Parade. They did microforest planning meeting at the Meadow Gardens planting, so they attended that meeting. They did, let's see, roadway and traffic enforcement with Darien PD, so that was a joint venture that they do for truck enforcement on 136 as it goes into, it splits right between Norwalk and Darien right there on that border. So we have a lot of trucks that come off of I-95 there and they try and take the back road through on 136. So that was good. They did an outreach at Norwalk Banks for updates for all the financial institutions. They presented at the Women's History Month at the Norwalk Senior Center. We had Coffee with the Cop, March 20th at the CS Classic Deli on Main Street. And we will be doing Coffee with the Cop on Tuesday at Sono Harbor, if anybody would like to join us there. It'll be at 8 a.m. till probably about 10 o'clock or whenever. So we'll be at Sono Harbor on Water Street. They did security for the Jim Himes when he attended Town Hall. They helped out with the Greenwich St. Patrick's Day Parade. Let's see. So those were the events that they handled. They also did selective enforcement, and we have locations. They did 86 locations throughout the city just for the month of March. Everything from East Avenue, Winfield Street, West Avenue, Wilson Avenue, New Canaan Avenue, Strawberry Hill, Dry Hill. They did Richards Avenue, West Rocks. Let's see, Riverside Avenue, Bain Street, Ponus Avenue. And then there was a repeat of the New Canaan Avenue and Wilson Avenue. And they do a lot of selective enforcement in these spots based on requests from citizens and anybody, Norwalkers, that say, hey, we're having a problem at this time of day or this or that. Maybe people are passing school buses or, it's a heavy, commuting cut through. And, people can't pull out of their driveways and this and that. So based on any type of citizens complaints, we will do that and we'll go and do traffic enforcement in those locations. And then also based on, we report to the state our traffic accidents. So if it's a high accident area, we'll do a lot of selective enforcement in order to get people to start slowing down and be a little bit more observant and hopefully reduce the number of accidents in those locations. They handled 67 parking violations. They installed car seats. So our traffic officers are state certified child car seat installation certification. So we installed 2 car seats and they gave out 7 DWIs over the month also. Selective enforcement, again, DUI enforcement. The behavioral health unit, they opened up 55 cases this month. They closed 45 cases. They had 31 cases where a person was hospitalized. They partnered 3 with state's attorneys. They referred services to 24 of those cases, and they worked with 22 families over the month, just with behavioral health unit. Let's see, we had the community policing also handles our animal control. Animal control also had 64 cases this month. They had 4 animal bites and they issued 6 infractions for roaming dogs and various other animal control issues. And they adopted out 3 dogs. They found homes for 3 dogs this month. Would you guys like to hear about any other divisions? So I have everything ready to go.
So I think that was a good breakdown. I mean, that's kind of what I was looking for. And it was the one, just personally, I played dodgeball with some of the officers, maybe not through the community dodgeball, but the Norwalk High had a dodgeball tournament, I believe it was March 19th.
Yes.
And it's just really good to see that like the Norwalk police are entrenched in the community. And they're a fabric of the community with kids, with seniors, with everybody. And I just really wanted to highlight all of the great work that you're doing because the police department that knows this community is just one step ahead. So really excited to hear all of the great things that you guys are doing. And thank you for that.
Yeah, so most of the dodgeball was our SROs too. And our SRO program falls under our special victims unit. And so they're all embedded in all the schools, and that's one thing they really enjoy doing. And it's a great fundraiser. And Dodgeball's been very successful. I think this was like its third or fourth year that they've been doing it. If not
Yes.
more. But yes, so yeah, that comes under our special victims unit, and they do a tremendous job. And all our SROs get along really great with all the principals and all the schools and all the kids in there. And they've really made some good connections.
And across town, I mean, those new electric vehicles for North High and McMahon, they look great.
They
Being
do.
across town,
They do.
they look great.
I'm a Bears fan, so I'm kind of partial.
Oh, I went to both schools, but I'm the senator. But I hope anybody have any other questions or comments?
All I'll say is, Jalen said it right, which is that Norwalk Community Police they're everywhere. And that is
They are.
about as big a compliment as it gets. There's that old expression about like half the battle is showing up, but they do far more than that. But I always appreciate it when I see the officers are everywhere, whether it's on social media, and watching what they do, but also, I mean, all of us go to plenty of events. There's always community police there.
Oh,
And it makes such a big difference. And I mean, I can't remember if he even said like touch a truck, and like the police are always a huge hit at events like that.
No, not yet,
And
but they're starting though. Touch a Truck is going to be starting. I think that's in the spring.
no, but
Mhm.
I'm saying they're always at touch a truck, and it's always a
Yes.
big hit. And there's, I have nothing but good things to say. They really do are in such a model for how you build trust with a community.
Yes, they do a lot with that division, and there's not a lot of officers in that division, and they are constantly on the go, and they are some very dedicated officers in there.
I'll
Not
say,
that all
I
our other
forgot-
ones are not. I mean, everybody
just-
is in our
I'm so
department, but
sorry, I'm
they are.
forgetting his name. But there was an officer who was playing tennis with some kids and like tore his ACL.
Yes, so that was Lieutenant Podorsky. He was in
Yes.
charge of, we were there with him that day. He was in
Uh-huh.
charge of community policing, and he was
Yeah.
out for like 6 months. So
I saw him. He looks good
back.
now. He's good to go.
He's good. He's
Yeah.
good. He's running a little slower though. He actually decided to stay and play longer with the kids, and that's when it happened afterwards.
Oh man.
Yeah, he's like, no, I'm having fun. We're gonna continue. We're gonna keep going with it. Yeah, it was good.
Mhm.
He enjoys it.
Well, any other questions or comments? Just to end on it, I mean, for me, I actually went to school for criminal justice at NCC, and Lieutenant Brzezinski came later, but Lieutenant Murphy actually taught me on the course on community policing, and everything you guys are doing is in the textbook, and is exactly what we were reading about and learning about, and it's just happy to see that you guys are doing it, and definitely he was a great guy, and both of them, Lieutenant Brzezinski and Lieutenant Murphy. So again, thank you guys for everything that you're doing, and thanks for the update. If there's no other questions, I think we just have one more motion. Mr. Sutton got the motion to adjourn. So again, thank you. You guys have
Thank
a
you,
good night.
everybody.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Have
you
a good
so much.
night.
Have a wonderful evening.
You
Thank
too.
guys.
Take
Bye-bye.
care.
Good night.
Good night.